What's up, guys? My name is Anna Clendening, and I am here hanging out with Rob on Front Row Live, and I'm very awkward.
I recently caught the attention of your music on Spotify, and your voice. Like, I'm sorry, I'm kind of obsessed. Like, it's a problem.
That's so sweet. Growing up, my parents were like, "Oh yeah, you have a good voice," and I was like, "You guys are lying to me." And then I went and auditioned for like one of those TV shows, and I didn't make it. And I was like, "Everybody's been lying to me my whole life. I don't have a good voice." And then I moved out here, and everybody's been so nice. Like every time I go to like cut a track or something, they're like, "Wow, your voice is really good." I'm like,
it's like you have your own like sound. Like you can't really say somebody else sounds like you. And that's really awesome. And one thing I like about your voice is when you're singing, I don't even know how to explain it, but it sounds like there's a little shake in it, like not in a bad way. No. Like what song was it? The Schneider song that you did towards the end of it. There was like a little shake on like towards the last bit of it, and I was like, oh my gosh, like this is incredible.
Well, I think maybe that's because I sing very emotional stuff. Like I liked singing, but then like how I got into like I guess a music career, I started writing, and it was kind of like therapy for me because I had like all these emotions bottled up, and I was like, why am I so angry all the time? And then I started writing, and you know, when you sing something that's like a real experience, it gets pretty emotional.
Oh yeah, I mean, we feel it with your music. Like that's another thing that like, you know, a lot of artists can sing, but like not a lot of artists can sing and like have us feel that emotion that you got bringing out. So, great job.
Thanks.
So let's talk about the new single, Invisible. This track, like, I am not a dancer, I am not a choreographer, I am far from that. But when I listen to it, I'm like, dang, this would be great for like some choreography. Did you kind of have that in mind at all when you were creating this song, or you know, what kind of influenced this song?
That is really funny. I was actually talking to a girlfriend that dances, and I was like, we need to do like some kind of like choreograph thing to this song.
That vibe.
It's just kind of like when I was like writing it in the studio with The Gifted, which is these two guys who are absolutely amazing. I was like, okay, let's go. Like obviously I'm not a dancer or a choreographer either, but like it's funny how that kind of played out. I originally wrote I guess it's like the hook, the pre-hook that's like, I'm in love with someone.
Can you say that again?
I'm in love with someone who doesn't know I exist, because I was on like some celebrity's Instagram, and I saw it. This is so sad. I like saw all these like, it was like mostly girls. I think it was some guy's Instagram, and it was all these girls that were like, I love you, like blah blah blah, notice me, and I was like, that's really sad that like these people know everything about this person, and this person will never see them. And then I kind of translate it back to my own life in a more like relatable scale, like how many times I have had a crush on somebody and like known all these things about them, and they just like don't know who I am, never will, and it's like, it's a very relatable like story of my life.
Yeah. So in a sense, it's kind of like on a personal subject as well, right? Sort of, kind of. So I mean, when you go into the studio and, you know, get personal like that, like, is that something that, you know, takes a lot out of you to actually open up, especially when you're working with a team?
No, which is kind of weird on my socials and I guess in real life. I don't know. It all kind of blends together. I'm very transparent about my feelings and my life and, you know, mental illness and everything like that. And so to me, it's kind of second nature. Like, it's just like a normal thing. And it's still kind of weird when people approach me. They're like, I'm like really taken back by how like honest you are, and like that's so brave. And I'm like, what are you talking about? Like, that's just like me. Like, I feel like everybody should be up front, and I don't want to say I pride myself, because I feel like it's a human thing that we should all do, but like I really try to not just like put up the good things on social media. Like, I'll put up me crying. Like earlier this year, I had to go back home to, you know, to get some help, and I put up this video and was like, you guys, I'm not okay. And I'm not doing it for like people to be like, oh my gosh, like I hope you get better. It's like, no, I want other people to know that like I can be a fucking mess. It's like, excuse my language, but like, you know, I just feel like social media gives this whole idea that everybody's got it together, and I want to be the first person to be like, I don't,
Right.
and it's okay if you don't. And so, like, circling back, it's, you know, it's very easy for me to go into a studio and be like it's really funny when writing. The first thing we all do, at least in my sessions, is kind of talk about like what we're going through in our life right now, and like what's been going on emotionally, and blah blah blah, and then we kind of like write from that. So it's coming from a very real place, which is awesome.
Yeah. No, that's cool. Like, how do you feel like your songwriting has kind of evolved within the last few songs, especially because they are personal subjects?
I've grown a lot, especially moving out here, which I procrastinated for a really long time. But being able to work with other people and learning to take constructive criticism and have someone be like, you know what, I don't like the way you said that. Not that anybody's ever been that, you know, blunt in the studio.
But that's what a producer's for, though, anyways, right?
Like, I'm just going to cut that line. That's not good. No, but I've known what I've wanted to say, but navigating how to say it has been kind of what I've been working on, and I think that's really awesome, because like I've only been writing for about 2 years seriously, and to see a song that I've written that I thought was like hot shit, and then I go back and listen to it and I'm like, oh, you know, what were you doing? Like, you could have done this, this, and this, and like I've really kind of found my voice. And I mean, working with other people was so terrifying in the beginning, because I don't like saying no to people. And so like I would go into a studio with somebody and they'd like do something and it would be like terrible and like not my vibe, and
Still go with it.
yeah, and I'd be like, oh yeah, no, that sounds good. And I'm like, wait, Anna,
Such a pushover.
I really am though, and it's not just in music, it's my whole life, but that's a whole another subject. But no, like I would just be like, yeah, no, that's good, like that's good. And I think actually finding my voice has really helped me, not just within music but in my life, and that kind of is reflected in my music, which is really cool, because I don't know if other people can see it, but like I've really found my voice and my style and my vibe, and I'm really kind of like settling into myself, which is really cool.
Right. Now, as far as like the writing goes, with, you know, writing with other people, you've worked with Jenna Andrews before, correct? Can we talk a little bit about her? Because every time I ask an artist what that experience like, or what that vibe is like, it's just like they I don't know, they just had the same kind of reaction you just had right now, actually. So, you know, what was it like working with Jenna the first time, and then how has that kind of evolved between the two of you?
Jenna is someone I hopefully am when I grow up. Not that she's like that much older than me, but like she is like everything I would want to aspire to be, like just as a human being in general, but also like as a woman in the music industry. She is like get shit done, like on top of everything. Like you need her to do something, she'll do it. If she doesn't know how to do it, she'll learn how to do it. Like it's amazing. And when she first came in, I was like a bit overwhelmed, I guess, because she's just like, all right, let's go. Like, let's.
She's got energy. That is for sure.
Yeah. She's absolutely amazing though. Like it's all great energy, and
Right.
I was like, oh, okay, shit, yeah, okay. Like she knows exactly how she wants a session to go. She was like, we're gonna need a mic, and can you put some tune on it, and can you play that track? And I was like, I need to take some notes.
Boss.
Yeah, she just like walks in and like controls the room, but in such a way, like she's just such a like a sweet, genuine person.
Right.
And I kind of just like want to hang out with her every day, but she's like a busy girl. Like I texted her the other day and she's like, oh, I'm in Thailand. I'm like, oh, okay.
Yeah, random, right?
I'm here in LA, but working with her is absolutely amazing. And you can tell she does music because she genuinely loves it. And like I was talking to her about like a project, and she was like, oh, you want to write with this person? Okay, I'll like text this person. Like she doesn't do it to be like, oh yeah, I know so-and-so and I know so-and-so. She's like, I think you're dope and I want to.
She'll vouch for you.
Yeah. And I love that. There are people, there aren't many people like that in the music industry. So when you find someone like that, you kind of just like cling to them and hold on to them as long as you can.
It's like the same exact answers from everyone down the line. That's incredible.
I want that one day. I want people to work with me and be like, I love Anna. She's great. She's so positive. Like, so I'm getting there. I basically want to be Jenna Andrews.
I'll let her know. I'm sure she's like already in tears watching this. But as far as like working with her, like, is she part of this upcoming EP? Did she work with you on that, or did you guys just work on previous stuff?
So the upcoming EP, oh my gosh, it's been a long road. That
It's worth the wait.
Yeah, hopefully. That kind of got postponed because when I went home, I was home for about 5 months getting help, so there was no like writing, no production. There wasn't much I could do across the country. So most of that music was already written last year. So I'm excited, but sometimes it doesn't come across as excited because I'm like, I've been waiting for this for so long, and like I just want it to be out, but I don't want to be excited until it's out because then it's out, and then I can be like, okay. So a lot of the stuff we're working on will be put out after it, but it is like, it's really good. It's on another level.
So who is Anna on this upcoming EP? Even though it was done a while back.
A mess. That's like who I am every day. I mean, I don't know if I could explain it. On this EP, it kind of tells a journey of the past like year or two of my life, which is really cool. It's got happy songs, and then it's got sad songs, and it's kind of like this emotional roller coaster, but I think that's really cool. I hate talking about this, but when I was on one of those television shows, one of the judges said to me, life is full of peaks and valleys, and tonight you were on a peak, and that has just like always stuck with me. Right. And I think that's very reflective in this EP coming up, because like you'll listen to one song and you're like, why am I crying on the bathroom floor? And then like another song like Invisible, you're like, hey, like up and dancing. And I think that's, you know, that's really important, because, you know, our paths aren't linear. We hit a bump in the road and we feel down, and then we kind of have to ride that out until we rise to a peak. And that's something that I am constantly reminding myself every day, and everyone else as well. We're all in this together.
Now, what was your decision for choosing Invisible as the first track off the EP to release?
Honestly, it's just my favorite song on the EP. Like, it's just so like catchy. Like, you know, it's. Well, I'm just biased. I was about to say, you know, it's a good song when you listen to your own stuff in the car. You're like, am I invisible? Should I let it go? And it's just so true, especially now, like, not to be a girl and, like, talk about my dating life, but I feel so invisible right now. Like, it is ridiculous. Well, you know, like, dating in LA, I don't know if you know.
There's no such thing as dating in LA. Everybody's all about the app. It's ridiculous.
But it's like, I'm
ridiculous.
Too busy. I'm working on myself. I'm focusing on my career. I'm like, so am I. That doesn't mean, like, this whole idea of, like, I am too busy is just a cop-out. Like, I just feel, like, super invisible. I'm like, maybe I'm just, like, not as good as I think I am. Like, or this person is just completely oblivious. Like, I'm telling you, that song, while it was inspired by other people, comes from a very real place. And I hate it, but no, I love it. So, I mean, I think it's just super relevant in my life right now.
With this track, watching the music video, as I mentioned earlier, like, it gives me like this whole dancey vibe. When you guys come out down the stairs and you have the 4 or 5 people behind you, I was like ready for like a dance breakdown, and I was a little disappointed that there wasn't one. So why wasn't there a dance breakdown, and why didn't Zelda add one on there?
Well, the whole idea of the stairs was kind of like, I don't know if you caught this or not, but I thought it was genius, and a lot of people caught on to it, which I was like a little nervous about. I was like, you know, Zelda, this is like really deep. I don't know if people are going to catch on, but it's like all of those people. So like the guy behind me, he's invisible to me, and then the girl behind him, she's invisible to him. Okay,
so I figured there was some kind of thing. I just didn't know exactly how they were related.
And so that's kind of like what that is, you know, through this whole music video, you think like, wow, this guy's a douchebag. Like, he just like doesn't like care about his girlfriend. And then when he takes a selfie and then it's like, I'm not in it, it's like, it's like a play on the song, like, oh, I'm actually just invisible. Like, this dude doesn't know I'm there. And then bringing in the other people, it's like we all experience this in, like, some way or another. I don't know if I'm allowed to say this, but, like, I walk back into the house at the end of the music video, and there's, like, a pink light coming from the door. Okay. And there may or may not be dancing in that video.
What?
But...
So I was close.
Yeah. You just need to wait, like, a little bit longer. But something that's really cool, I love working with Zelda, not just because she's my best friend, but also because she's just a genius. Like, she is absolutely amazing. We went up to Lake Tahoe over the summer, and I showed her all the songs, and I was like, I don't know what to do. Like, they just want to do, like, lyric videos, and she listened to each one, and she was like, okay, this is what you should do for this, and this is what you should do for this, within, like, 5 minutes. And I was like, who are you? Like, the ideas were so amazing, but they were so different, but she was able to piece them together. So it's going to basically be one long video, which is really cool. Okay. So, like, once all of the videos are out for the EP, you'll be able to watch them, and they tell one congruent story, which is absolutely amazing. So at the end of Invisible, it leads into the next song. So
Invisible is technically part one of the whole entire video. The short film, we're just going to call it.
And, like, while the stories they don't, like, necessarily make sense, but they do, because it's, like, the story of my past year and a half, and it's just I don't know how to talk about it without giving too much away, but it's gonna be really good.
How did you guys kind of get together the first time, and how did you guys, like, start to work?
So I go to this CrossFit gym, and one of my friends was going through a breakup the same time I was going through a breakup. And somehow he met Zelda at a party, and then he invited me out to do an escape room, which I'm absolutely addicted to. I don't know if you've ever done one, but
not yet.
Amazing. Yeah. And then I didn't know who she was, and, like, the next couple of days I was like, oh, let's do an escape room again. Like, I absolutely love that, because Zelda's amazing at them. And I was like, this is awesome. He's like, actually, we're going out of town. It's, like, the anniversary of her dad's birthday. I was like, oh, okay. And then I, like, looked her up on Instagram. I was like, oh, okay, well, that makes sense. And I, like, reached out to her and was like, hey, if you, like, ever want to talk about, like, anything in the mental health space, like,
that's
I'd
cool
love
of you.
to. Yeah, and she told me later on, she's like, I don't go through my messages, but I would, like, compelled to do that the day you messaged me, because when you don't follow someone, it goes through your, like, unfiltered messages. And she reached out, and I was going through my breakup at that time, and she was like, after so many years, I've said all I need to say, but, like, if you ever want to come over and, like, burrito on the couch. And I was like, yep, like, whenever that day. And then we just kind of fell in love with each other. And then I've pretty much been over at her house every day since. And it just kind of so happened that she offered to direct my music videos. Like, I didn't ask her to. I was just like, hey, do you have, like, any ideas? Like, I have no idea what to do. And then she came up with all this stuff, and, like, it's just been so amazing. Like, I don't know what I would do without her in my life, and everybody else that's been brought into my life because of her. And like, the videos just look so good, and, like, the meaning behind them is just so good, and I would not have been able to do that without her.
That's pretty awesome, though. That's a cool teamwork.
It's definitely been a peak, that's for sure. Like, I got really lucky that they're basically my adopted family, her and her family, and, like, all of her, like, close friends. I found them at a very, very, like, perfect time when I was going through a really rough breakup, and, like, felt like I didn't have anybody out here. And the world's funny like that.
Sometimes we need those, like, bad situations to get something better, which is unfortunate.
Yeah, but I mean, I used to be an emotional wreck, but now, my last breakup was terrible, but I grew so much and matured so much and got so much out of it emotionally. I was able to write these amazing songs, and, like, sometimes I get a little mad when I think about it, but, like, I don't have any, like, resentment. I don't regret being in that relationship because I got something out of it. And, like, well, that sounds kind of bad. Like, I learned something from it. Like, I learned more so who I was and how to handle situations like that. And I saw, like, I can be a good person, and sometimes things aren't my fault. Other people are just shitty.
Especially in LA.
He was from North Carolina.
Oh, he was not from North Carolina. It's all good.
In case you didn't get a shower today. No, he was from North Carolina. But I think LA brought the worst out.
There you go, especially from LA. Well, like I mentioned, like I really love your voice, and I can't wait to hear the rest of the music. And I'm sure your fans can't wait to hear that also. What are the plans for 2019 for you? Shows, maybe, please? Please?
I would like to get more dogs. I'm just kidding. I just got a puppy, and he's so cute. And I'm going to show you a picture real quick. Not to waste your... Oh, there he is right there.
No.
He's a service dog in training.
Amazing.
So he's down in San Diego being trained as a psychiatric service dog. No, but 2019 is going to be shows, as many shows as I can possibly do. Because for the longest time, I didn't have music of my own. I was like, I don't want to tour with covers. Like, I don't want to be a cover artist. I wasn't connecting to the music. And then I did a small headline tour this year and was really nervous because I had never done that before. It was all like stuff online. And I had 100 to 200 people come out to each show. It was in Chicago, New York, and LA. And I was like, okay, I love this because I get to connect with people. And like, I did meet and greets and talk to each person. If it were up to me, I would talk to each person for 2 hours because these aren't fans to me. These aren't followers. These are people. These are my family. Like the people came and they were like, I've been following you since 2014. Like, can you write something out so I can get it tattooed on me? And I'm like, first of all, I have handwriting.
That's how you know you made it.
Well, I have handwriting like a little boy, so I'm like, I need to put that as a disclosure on my tour promos. Like, don't ask me to write anything down because it's gonna look like crap. But no, it was amazing. Like, I did a show in Chicago. My brother got to come out. I did a show in New York, and my mom, my aunt, my brother, and his girlfriend flew out, and I actually got to sing a song I wrote 2 years ago called "To My Parents, To My Mom," and that was like so emotional. And like to have the crowd, like I just stopped singing and the crowd was just singing my song, and I was like, this is nuts. Like, my story in music form, people are singing and can relate to, and that's all I could ever wish for. I don't give a crap about money. I don't give a crap about how many people follow me or if my stuff is on the radio. It's if that one person connects with me, and that's really why I'm excited to tour, because I get to connect with these people on a way bigger level than just through a computer screen or through a phone screen or through like a message. And that is the biggest goal for 2019. I've been writing a lot, and so there will be a lot of music coming out too. And
I can't wait. I can't wait.
There'll just be a lot in 2019.
Well, thanks for hanging out with me. I'm glad that this finally happened. Now I need to see your show in 2019. You guys, if you guys haven't checked out Anna Clendening, her new single Invisible is out now. Music video is out now. And thanks for watching on Front Row Live.